Hola a todos, soy Mike. Bienvenidos a la guía definitiva para aprender a conjugar el verbo gustar en español. Hi everybody, this is Mike. Welcome to the ultimate guide to learning how to conjugate the verb gustar in Spanish. So in today's video, we're going to study the verb to like. I have another video in which it's a live class in which I explain in detail this verb, but nonetheless, we're going to go through further details in this video. So the verb to like is one of the videos, the verbs that we're going to study in this series of videos in which we're studying those verbs in which we use the indirect object pronoun just before the verb. So in the case of to like, when I say I like apples, in Spanish I say me gustan las manzanas. So it's not yo gusto de manzanas, although that would be understandable. It's not quite natural, but would be understandable. That's not the way we talk. So first, let's check this information because this shows you the indirect object pronouns. So for I, for you, for he, she, it, for we, and for they. And remember that in Spanish, we have I, which would be yo. The indirect object pronoun that we are going to use if we conjugate I like is me. If we use you in its singular formal, singular informal close relationships forms, which is tú in Spanish, tú, we use te, indirect object pronoun. If we use he, she, it, or you, singular, like usted, él, ella, ello, or usted, we use le. Remember that we basically don't have a pronoun for it. Not that we use on a regular basis. So for we, which is nosotros, we use nos. For you, plural, which is ustedes, we use les. And for they, which is ellos, ellas, we use les also. And here we find something that a lot of times we place before the indirect object pronoun. So I can either use just the indirect object pronoun like me gusta, I like, me gusta, or a mí me gusta in the case of in which I want to make some kind of emphasis on the sentence. So we use these forms before each one of the indirect object pronouns. So me would be a mí me. Te, a ti, te. For you, a usted le. A él, le. A ella, le. A nosotros, nos. Or a nosotras, nos. A ustedes, les. A ellos, les. A ellas, les. So this is something that, as I explained before, we use for emphasis. So we can be either me or a mí me. It can be either te or a ti te. If I say you like apples, I can say te gustan las manzanas or a ti te gustan las manzanas. We can use both. And we use the full form, especially when we want to make emphasis. So we're going to keep this in mind. Now, another thing. When it comes to this verb conjugation, it depends on the object. If the object is singular or the object is plural. So I can say, I like this apple, or I like apples, or I like those apples. In English, it's just the verb like, right? Nothing changes. But in Spanish, it changes. So we have a singular form for each conjugation and each tense. So in the simple present tense would be gusta for singular. The simple past would be gustó or gustaba. Remember, we have two different forms of the past tense. In the simple future would be gustará. In the present perfect would be ha gustado. In the going to form would be va a gustar. In the present continuous would be está gustando. In the past continuous was estuvo or estaba gustando. In the present perfect continuous would be ha estado gustando. The conditional form would be gustaría. In the present subjunctive mood would be guste. And the past subjunctive mood would be gustara or gustase. This one is different than this one because of this. Gustará, gustara. So don't worry. Perhaps it's gonna look a little bit challenging, difficult, but don't worry. It's just a matter of practicing, and that's what we're going to do here. And for the plural, we have this conjugation table. It changes a bit. It's gustan, gustaron, gustaban, gustarán, han gustado, van a gustar, and so and so. This is the thing that we need to bear in mind when it comes to the conjugation form. And what we're going to do is we're going to place the indirect object pronoun just before the conjugation of the verb. That's it. So based on that, we can try and let me just move here just a little bit. And I'm going to leave these two tables, the upper left and the upper right. The upper left is the singular conjugation in the different tenses for the verb, gustar, singular object. And the upper right is the thing that we're placing before this conjugation in order to make the sentence, right? So if I have the sentence, I like this apple, I go with either a mí me or me, because it's for I. Remember, that's the upper right table. So I would go with me or a mí me. Any of those, me or a mí me. Then we have the conjugation. Let's go with this is simple present. Me gusta, me gusta. The conjugation is gustar. So I say me gusta or a mí me gusta. And from this point on, we're pretty much done, right? Me gusta esta manzana. Same thing. A mí me gusta esta manzana. And this is the way we conjugate this verb. And this is for simple present. And we're conjugating for I. We can go for tú. And if you follow the table, what would you do? That would be a ti te gusta or te gusta, right? Meaning that if it's you, would be either te gusta or a ti te gusta. And that's a conjugation. We're basically using the table for the conjugation tenses, the forms, and the table for the indirect object pronoun use. And that's easy, right? If we are going to say usted, a usted, right? For you, singular, formal, right? It's not a close relationship, but for tú, for usted instead of tú. Entonces, a usted le gusta esta manzana. A usted le gusta esta manzana, right? That's easy. And so, if it's for he, a él le gusta or le gusta. If it's for she, it would be le gusta or a ella le gusta, right? Check it out. For él, a él le gusta. This is the same. Need to make sure we know whom are we referring to. A ella le gusta. This is not going to change. For it would be just le gusta. We don't use this for it. Le gusta. For us would be nos gusta. Nos o a nosotros nos. Right? A ustedes les gusta. A ustedes les gusta. And ellos, ellas. A ellos les gusta. A ellos. Or a ellas les gusta. Masculine, feminine. It doesn't matter. So that's the way we conjugate in the simple present tense. If we were to use any of the other tenses, we would go with the table the upper left table. So in the case of, let's say, you liked this apple. This I can either say le gustó or a usted le gustó. What I'm doing is using the tables, you see? Because you liked is simple past, and in the simple past, I can either use gustó or gustaba. And for you, usted, a usted le. That's it. It's fairly easy, right? If I'm going to use, let's say, she would like this apple. She would like this apple. Let's check. So she would be a ella le, right? Le doesn't change, or a ella, because it's she. And for would, which is conditional, would be gustaría. That's the only change. Gustaría. And that's it. A ella le gustaría. And that's the way we use this table. So as you can see, we just need to practice. That's it. And this is the singular form. Meaning that if we have, give me just a second, the plural form, the only thing that changes is the verb. So if I say she would like these apples, it would be le gustarían, le gustarían estas manzanas. Estas manzanas. A ella le gustarían estas manzanas. You see how it changes? It's just a matter of changing the. And if I say you like apples, and say we're talking about tú, meaning meaning singular, close relationships, informal, tú, right? So let's do the exercise again. So it would be te or a ti te, right? Te or a ti te. Then the verb for simple present, gustan, te gustan, gustan. Same here, gustan, a ti te gustan. And las manzanas, manzanas. Manzanas. And that's it. That's pretty much it. So what you need to do is to practice based on these tables, either for the plural if the object is plural, or for singular if the object is singular. And remember, for any of the subjects, you use the upper right table. So let's do two examples more. So let's say, I'm going to say, we like this house. We have liked. We have liked. Let's change this, right? We have liked this house. So first, the pronoun is we, nosotros. So let's go to the upper right table. Nosotros would be nos or a nosotros. Let's say it's nosotros masculine, right? Nosotros, right? So we say nos or a nosotros, right? That would be either the way in which we're going to start a sentence. Nosotros, nos. Then it's singular because it's just a house. So we have light in the present perfect. The present perfect, we use ha gustado. Present perfect. That's the fourth line, the upper left table. Ha gustado. Nos ha gustado. Nos ha gustado. And it's exactly the same for the other one, right? A nosotros nos ha gustado. And then the rest of the sentence. Esta casa. Same here. And this is the way we use this. We have liked this house. Nos ha gustado esta casa. A nosotros nos ha gustado esta casa. That's it. And you can do exactly the same with other things. Let's use in this case another example, the second last example here with a plural object. So he would. Oh, let's do with a subjunctive form. If he liked this car, he would have bought it. If he liked this car, he would have bought it, right? So if would be si. That needs to be before the sentence, si. But if we're using he, right? So we go for él. Si le or si a él le, right? We're using le. We're using he. Based on the upper right table, for he we use le or a él le. We're translating if as si, conditional if, right? Liked, but this is subjunctive. So here we need to use gustara or gustase because it's the past subjunctive mood. So we si le gustara o si a él le gustara o gustase this car, este carro, and then the rest of the sentence. This would be él lo hubiera comprado. Instead, and we can just skip this because we know we're talking about he. But this is the part that we need to understand, this thing, which is basically using the table. So, oh, I'm sorry. Sorry for this. Give me just a second. It's here. Okay. I like it. Hey. So basically we have this information for the conjugation of the verb gustar, which is a verb in which we use the indirect object pronoun. We have a lot of verbs like that, and this is the way we do that. So in a nutshell, first we place the indirect object pronoun either in the simple or the emphasis form, which is me a mí me, te a ti te, le a usted le, and so based on this upper right table. And then the conjugation either if the object is singular or the object is plural. So take note of this, keep these tables handy, and practice a lot. And remember, at first, it doesn't matter if you have issues with the tenses. You can go tenseless. Don't worry about the tenses that much. But if you're focusing on improving your verb conjugation, this is the way you have to do that. Okay, so that was it. I hope this is not going to be confusing. It's pretty much easy. I hope you're going to study and practice a lot. This is a matter of practicing. Practice makes perfect. So make sure you're going to check the whole video to do your own exercises, to build your sentences, to start using this verb as soon as you can. And the more that you use it, the more that you're going to understand its use and how to conjugate the verb in the different forms. So if you have questions, check the video as many times as you need. And if you still have questions, leave a comment. I'll try to reply as soon as possible. If you like this video, remember, you know what to do. Please share with your friends, group, social media. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. Click the bell button in order to get notifications because we're posting videos on a weekly basis. And that's going to help us also to grow as a channel. So I really appreciate you for watching the whole video, and looking forward to bringing more videos like this. So see you later. Study much, estudien mucho, aprendan mucho, sigan practicando y nos vemos en un próximo video. Bye.